This is the story of one man's dream, to recreate the experience of traveling on the rivers of Burma as it was in the colonial days, aboard an old flotilla steamer. The Irrawaddy Flotilla was the largest inland water transport fleet the world has ever known, and has been all but forgotten in this exotic corner of the world. The flotilla gets its name from the Great Irrawaddy River that flows some 1,200 miles from the Himalayas through central Burma to the Bay of Bengal. It is one of the great rivers of the world, like the Nile in Egypt. The Irrawaddy Flotilla once totaled over 1,200 paddle steamers and barges that were well suited to the wide, shallow rivers of Burma. The largest ships were over 300 feet long and could carry some 3,000 deck passengers. These magnificent steamers were amazingly built in Scotland, disassembled, and then shipped to Rangoon in Burma for reassembly. A major feat of Scottish ingenuity. In the glory days of British colonialism, these ships were an elegant and romantic means of travel through this land of golden pagodas. The words of Rudyard Kipling, Somerset Maugham, and George Orwell will long be remembered as a romantic record of those days. Sadly, during World War II, many of these great ships were scuttled to deny them from the advancing Japanese armies, and since that time have lain forgotten in their watery graves. Scotsman Paul Strachan, whose grandfather worked for the flotilla, has always had a dream to restore a small portion of that fleet to its original glory.
Our dream in reviving the Irrawaddy Flotilla and operating former paddle steamer again is to try and recreate something of the atmosphere and ethos of travel on the rivers of Burma as it was back in the 1920s and 30s. In 1994, I found the Pandal on the riverbank at Mandalay in a complete state. The peak decks were still there, some of the old machinery. There was an anchor winch they made in Paisley. Sadly, the paddle had been taken off and replaced with Dorman engines, which were still running fine and which we still run. We fitted her out with Burmese materials. We imported very little. We used what was available there. They have very, very fine woods, hardwoods, teak and other woods. And they have great craftsmanship. There's a great tradition of craftsmanship, wood carvers, carpenters, etc. And we used them in the refit. When we launched Pandal, there was a great sense of elation. I mean, it was a great moment for us and for all our people who work in our company and the contractors and just even the Burmese people. I remember our first cruise up the river and whole villages would come out to see the Pandal. It was all looking like new again. It was all painted up with flags flying and these strange foreign tourists, and a lot of the Burmese people had never seen foreigners before. And there we were travelling up, and it was a spectacle, this new ship. And I remember we pulled into a very small village, and I was in the market, and this lady spoke to me, and she said, "How did you get here?" And I said, "Well, we came up by river." And she said, "Which ship?" Because everybody knows the ships. And I said, "Well, I came in the Pandal." She said, "Oh, have they repaired it at last?" Pandal proved so popular that we very quickly needed a second ship. At this time we decided to build one from scratch. We did this in Rangoon. We used the old plans, the old Yarrow plans, the same design, the same concept, and produced really a replica of the Pandal, a little bit bigger, but brand new, and then produced a ship of great beauty, and we offer cruises of 4-star quality.
There is now even a third Pandal, again built to the same exacting standards. Cruising on a restored flotilla steamer is a pleasurable experience indeed. You will think that you step back to the days that Somerset Maugham wrote about. Gracious promenade decks, rattan furniture, lounging in a steamer chair and watching pagoda after pagoda come into view. English tea in the afternoons, then gin and tonics as you watch the sunset over the mighty Irrawaddy River. Meanwhile, the welcoming dining room awaits, with chefs ready to pamper you with fine Asian and European cuisine. Freshly caught fish are served with exotic fruits and vegetables. Enjoy a selection from our extensive wine cellar and the grand collection of after-dinner liqueurs. Even breakfast is a gracious and elegant way to start the day. At night, the sun deck transforms into a Burmese theater of classic dancing for a traditional marionette show. Throughout the cruise, you will be well cared for, your every need attended to, with plenty of time to relax. During the day, there are stops at the small villages along the banks. You get a rare insight into the daily life of the Burmese. Well off the beaten tourist track, these small villages are unreachable except by the river. You will find a thriving culture that remains unchanged by the 20th century, and a healthy economy that thrives on cottage industries. You can visit the marketplaces, schools, monasteries, and many historic and sacred sites along the river. We want to take you back in time when traveling was a pleasurable experience. Let us help you create your own golden memories of steaming on an original Irrawaddy Flotilla steamer in the heart of golden Burma.
I think what's so special about Burma and working with the ships on the rivers are the great moments when you're standing on the deck when the sun comes up in the morning. And you've never seen sunrises like it. The whole thing is just lit up in colour as the ship steams up the river. And the sounds of the villagers, the sounds of the music from the villages, and the people, the monks chanting, the temple bells ringing. There's nothing more romantic in the whole world. It's a great feeling.
have a variety of cruises and destinations on the Irrawaddy and Chindwin rivers in Burma from 1 to 2 nights and up to 10 days or more. We also have a variety of pre- and post-cruise tours so you can explore such exotic locations as Yangon, Mandalay, Bagan, Inle Lake, Pindaya, and the exotic hill tribes of the Golden Triangle. And now you can experience that same Pandog graciousness in Vietnam and Cambodia. Cruise on our new RV Mekong, a brand new boat built to the same exacting standards. And enjoy an extra tour of Angkor Wat or Saigon. So join us for the voyage of a lifetime on board an authentic colonial ship on the rivers of Burma and beyond.